Yeah, we just couldn't get any outs. They did a good job putting the ball in play. We just couldn't get any outs there.
What do you say? I mean, Davis pitched great for 5 innings and didn't look like he was getting tagged in the sixth. They just put enough consistent at bats to get him to kind of stretch it out.
Yeah, they did. They did a really good job, and he was in a really good spot there. Obviously, hadn't given up a run, and then we turn over to Huddy there, and we just weren't able to get the outs that we needed, and obviously that's a good lineup, and they just kind of beat us for really in every single way that inning.
What made Hudson a good matchup in that spot after he just closed? And he's coming in at this kind of a situation.
Yeah, it's a good spot, where we're thinking that Huddy against anybody left or righty is a good person to pick it up. It's a big spot there. When you give up 8 runs in that spot going into that inning, that's probably a decision that I made or something that I missed there. And as far as the timing with Huddy, I think there's an argument for a batter before there. But Davis is in a good spot. He hadn't given up a run yet, so Huddy's our guy. Somebody that you trust in every situation. You mentioned him closing his last outing, so it's just one of those where something along the way didn't drop him in right. And obviously, they were able to capitalize and score a bunch of runs.
Would you see? I guess from the offense, you were able to kind of build opportunities. It kind of gets weird with the bullpen game there, but not seeing the big cash in like hit at any point.
Yeah, and it is tough in a bullpen game where you're having to game plan for a bunch of different guys when you're going into the day having a game plan for one guy there on the front end. But you got to figure out a way, and we did have opportunities there, just weren't able to capitalize. But yeah, just got to keep creating it. I mean, today 5 runs wasn't enough. Had to figure out a way to score 2 more.
So there were a lot of pop-ups. Was there anything that they were doing to reduce those?
I'm not sure. They have a lot of verti, forcing fastballs that you see guys swing underneath. Maybe that's it. But yeah, there were a lot of fly balls there in the infield.
Speaking of weird things in this game, there's 7 hit by pitches. I think it might have been a high for the league this year. Anything to that, I guess. While we're asking you.
Yeah, not that I could tell you, but baseball's funny like that.
And the Paredes call was pretty clearly he was hit by a pitch, or what did you think of that situation?
I mean, as far as the replay went, as we checked in on it, that he was hit by pitch. We just asked the guys to finish the play. You never know what happened.
Braden's hits tonight were 2 strikes. Just how you see him take a step forward in those spots.
Yeah, he's been in a really good spot for a while now. It seems he's taking good swings early in the count, and as you mentioned, the 2-strike hits. He's doing a nice job finishing at bats also.
It seemed like Vargas might have thought the Walker double down the line might have been foul, but that's unreviewable.
You can't review that.
Right. Okay.
It's unacceptable. I think the tone setting of the 6th inning was really bad on my part, which kind of leads to the bigger inning. And I know Huddy's going to say the same thing, and Serge's going to say the same thing, that we needed to all stop the bleeding somehow. But it's baseball. Sometimes baseball happens. You get singled to death a little bit, and then the bases clearing double. It's a little gut wrenching, but just got to pick yourself back up and move on to tomorrow.
Is it frustrating because we were asking Will, like, it wasn't, you were cruising along through 5, and it wasn't like you're giving up shots around the field. It was just kind of walk here, hit my pitch, and things just kind of fell in, and it turned from 5-0 to 8-5.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, for me, that inning, Jordan single, you keep him in the yard, that's great. Hit by pitch to my Paredes is tough, but then, I look at it like Altuve hits that ball a couple feet to the left, Wade a couple feet to the right, like, it's a completely different inning. Like, I know it's all the old famous, you can wish in one hand and shit in the other and see which one fills up first. So it's baseball. Baseball happened. It sucks. The process was really good. I'm really happy with the stuff, with getting out of jams, with Pena at the plate, getting out of jam with Alvarez at the plate, both really, really good hitters. So just from where I'm at, I'm really excited about that. Now just continue to press and continue to get better and just finish off innings, empty the tank a little better next time.
Yeah, even on the hit by pitch, I mean, initially it was ruled double play. I mean, what's your mindset on that sort of play? Just finishing the play right.
Yeah, I mean, just Will. Yeah, Will was in the dugout. He's like, finish the play, so we just did it, and obviously, you're like, how lucky can we be tonight? But yeah, I mean, I knew it was probably a hit by pitch, so it's just trying to get geared up for the next guy and make a pitch, and like I said, just some bad luck, but we'll bounce back tomorrow as a team. We usually do.
You were talking before the break about how you kind of needed a break. Maybe fatigue was setting in. Is it 5 good innings and 1 bad one? Is that an issue tonight?
No, I think it's just, like I said, it's bad luck. That's the best I felt. I feel like I'm ripping through pitches. I feel like the breaking stuff's biting like it did at the beginning of the first half. We're throwing changeups in zone. We're throwing sinkers whenever we want. And just the overall arsenal itself is about as sharp as it can be. It's just like I said, just baseball happens sometimes, and even when you're at the sharpest you can be, sometimes guys get hits, guys get lucky, guys move on. So, physically I feel great. The break was incredible. The last 2 outings felt great. So just continue to press forward and move on.
In the same vein, the bullpen's been so good for the last 24 games. It's gonna have sometimes you're gonna have games where they're not completely sharp.
Yeah, I mean, I can take a list down of all my outings of how many times Nuke, didn't Nuke stopped the bleeding. I look at Murph in Cleveland. I had bases loaded, 1 out. He didn't allow a run. So you looked over the course of our season, our bullpen's been phenomenal. So we're just baseball, right? No one's in the locker room freaking out saying oh my gosh, this is everybody understands that stuff happens and we just got to move on and continue to do what we do. Don't reinvent the wheel. Continue to do what we do well, and that's our bullpen. It's been shoving, and look at the whole road trip that we just had. You can credit a lot of those wins to the bullpen. So, just got to pick each other up, and get back to it tomorrow.